Welcome back into another video of the Arizona Sports Fan. Thank you so very much for coming back, guys. I really do appreciate it. Now, in this video, I wanted to talk about Week 4 matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals. I still cannot believe how fast these weeks have come through already. We're already entering Week 4, and of course, I'm going to go ahead and give you my 3 things to look out for and my 3 keys to success for the Arizona Cardinals to pull off a win, guys. Without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Roll that intro. Guys, welcome back. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, what I wanted to talk about was Week 4 matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. Now, this is going to be the first time in the entirety of the year that we're going to be one of the earlier games of the day. So we're going to be 10 a.m. Arizona time and 1 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you go ahead and get your clocks all set up. But I'm super excited already. A perfect chance to go 3-1, or maybe even an opportunity to go 2-2. Obviously, a lot of us Arizona Cardinal fans do not want that, but that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. Let's go ahead and just dive right into it. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and look for my 3 things to look out for the Carolina Panthers here. When I first saw the schedule, I was freaked out. I was worried about, McCaffrey going to basically be running up and down this defense, but we got a good thing going on here because McCaffrey is still out for this game. Now, that does not mean that this is going to be an easy game. I think one thing to highlight is going to be their wide receiving core. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, they don't have a good wide receiving core. I actually think that they do have a good wide receiving core. They have some speed and they have a big-bodied individual as well. So my first highlight is going to be their wide receiving core, whether it's going to be Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson, which is having a pretty good year so far, and DJ Moore. Now, all those 3 wide receivers have speed to them. I know that DJ Moore is more seen as probably like that big body type wide receiver as well. So they have the tools for Teddy Bridgewater to use. So we just got to make sure that they're contained. Now, on the opposite side here on the Arizona Cardinals, it's a little troubling because we're going through this whole who's going to be the safety. So this is probably a perfect opportunity for the Panthers to really look into a depleted safety core that we have right now for the Arizona Cardinals. So I think that's one of the biggest emphasis that we need to look out for as far as an Arizona Cardinal fan and the coaching staff is that those wide receivers are probably going to go ahead and try to take a lot of deep routes, and that's definitely something we got to look out for. For my key point number 2, it's going to be Teddy Bridgewater. Now, Teddy Bridgewater had an amazing career with the Vikings, and then he got hurt, unfortunately, which was a really, really bad injury, and then he ended up spending some time within the Saints, which he showed some talent, and of course, he ended up hitting free agency, and the Carolina Panthers ended up picking him up. Now, as of right now, their record is 1-2 with Teddy Bridgewater back there. I still think that Teddy Bridgewater is a really good quarterback. He's probably not seen as a great type quarterback, maybe more of a backup type role. Some people might even say he's a bridge quarterback for the Carolina Panthers to really see about developing and drafting a young one in the later drafts. But I still think that Teddy Bridgewater can definitely do some damage on the field, especially look to him to do a lot of deep shots down our depleted secondary in this game. I can definitely see a lot of Robbie Anderson, a lot of Curtis Samuels either doing some like deep shots or maybe even a lot of kind of those slant routes or even like a drag route. Something to pretty much stretch the field is definitely a big emphasis that we need to make sure that our middle linebackers are aware of, as well as our safeties, to make sure that they can get that deep shot down the field. Now, I know there's a lot of people saying that Teddy Bridgewater doesn't have the best arm out there, but I still think it's definitely manageable, and he can definitely do some damage to this Cardinal team. Definitely do know that Teddy Bridgewater is definitely going to do his best to get the W here. Looking a little into the running game here, they have a running back in Mike Davis. He's a big body type running back that can definitely mow some people down. We got to look out for him too. If we can somehow shut that down and make them one-dimensional, I feel like we would be good and in the clear at that point. But we definitely got to make sure that that run game doesn't get going. But I think one thing to look out for, and I guess this is more entailed to the Arizona Cardinals side of the ball, but we got to make sure that we get pressure on Teddy Bridgewater. It's imperative. It's imperative that we get some sacks. We've been having a lot of production on our defensive line. We haven't really seen a lot from Chandler Jones. I believe he's got like 1 sack on the year, but we've been seeing a lot from, Phillips or Blackson, or even I think Zach Allen got a sack. So it's really cool to see stuff like that as far even Kennard. So we got to make sure that everybody, gets going on a defensive line and create some pressure for Teddy Bridgewater. And I feel like if we do that, we can possibly come out with a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. All right, guys, and now going to the opposite side of the ball, the Arizona Cardinals are 3 keys to success and how I feel like we should, can get a win from this Carolina Panther team. Now, I don't want to even overlook any team at this point on. We did that with the Detroit Lions and we got punched in the mouth and we really got a taste of that humble pie, which I do not want to feel that again, but I always knew that the Carolina Panthers team always played us very strong. So I'm a little worried about this game, but this is going to be my 3 keys to success and how we can pull off a W here against this Carolina Panther team. So number 1, and I think it's probably one of the most important ones there, Kyler Murray needs to play a clean type of game. None of that 3 interception type games anymore, multiple turnover type games. It needs to get nipped in the bud right now. I know it's not something that he intended to do. I don't think he was like, oh, I'm going to throw 3 interceptions today. I get it. I understand it's all really due based off the coverage and what he thinks is best for the team, but it definitely needs to be something that needs to be cleaned up because you can't expect to win a game when we have 3 turnovers and our quarterback is just giving pretty much our possessions away. So we need to make sure that Kyler Murray has a really clean game, no turnovers, play safe, even the whole intentional grounding, don't take a sack type of thing. So just play smart. That's what I want. I want to see a smart game played by Kyler Murray. If you need to throw the ball away, make sure you're out of the pocket and throw that ball beyond the sticks. Just make sure that we don't take unnecessary penalties. But overall, number 1 key to success, Kyler Murray needs to play a really clean, turnover-free type of game as well. So I think it's very, very imperative. Now, my key number 2 here, I think that the run game, and I said this last game, the run game needs to get going. If we find a weakness within this defense and we can run on them, why are we not continuing to run either Chase Edmonds or Drake on this defensive line? It needs to happen. We need to make sure that we get Ken and Drake involved a lot more. If it's not Ken and Drake finding those holes, then we bring Chase Edmonds in. It needs to happen because once we get our run game going, we can basically exploit a lot of different things. We can get our pass game going, we can get our play action game going. It just opens up a lot more different things. So if we can run the ball down their throat and they cannot stop us, please continue to do that and don't do any of these little cutesy type plays that basically gets us behind the sticks and we're not able to recover, because last thing I want to see is going into like a 2nd and 15 because we lost 5 yards on a really silly type play call from Cliff Kingsbury. I want to see just kind of run down the throat. If we're getting some holes, make sure you just keep running that ball. It's very, very imperative. Now, my last key, and I think it's a really also another important one, we need to make sure that Larry Fitzgerald gets the ball. I believe last game he had about 1 or 2 receptions and his targets were very, very minimal. So I know I don't want to put a lot on Kyler Murray, but I think it's imperative not just for the fan base, but for the team to see the energy, to see that type of mentality, that vibe that Larry Fitzgerald gets when he gets the ball there, gets the ball in his hand and, gains 3 to 4 yards. It's amazing. It's definitely something that kind of puts a vibe throughout the entirety of the team. So even if it's a 2 to 3 yard gain for Larry Legend, he needs to be a lot more involved than he was last game. It's definitely something that needs to happen. So 3 keys to success, in my opinion here. Obviously, we want to make sure that we get pressure on, on Teddy Bridgewater. That's a must, and I kind of mentioned that on the last one here. But my 3 keys to success, which I feel like is major, is Kyler playing clean, get the run game going, and for the love of God, get Larry Fitzgerald involved a lot more, guys. So that's all I got for this episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new, please consider subscribing to the AZ Sports Fan. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you so very much, and I'm out.